Hello viewers, today I want to talk to you about the importance of maintaining a positive mindset as you start on your journey to reverse aging. There have been plenty of studies carried out on the effect that your mindset and the way you think has on your ability to achieve the goals that you set for yourself. One of these studies was carried out on a group of cleaners that were all working in the same hotel. So they split the cleaners in two groups. One group was told that the work they were doing was really excellent exercise, whereas the other group, the control group, weren't told anything. They were just told to keep doing whatever they were doing. After 4 weeks, what they found when they examined both groups, they found that the first group that was told that what the work they were doing was really excellent exercise have actually lost weight and a lot of their health markers had improved, whereas for the control group nothing has changed as expected, and the only difference was that little piece of information that was given to one group and not the other one. Another study that I absolutely love is the counterclockwise study that was carried out by Ellen Langer, I believe in the 70s, in the late 70s. They took a group of octogenarians and locked them in a hotel and told them that they had to live, act, speak and watch the program, listen to the music and everything as they did when they were in their 40s and 50s. So this hotel was all kitted out to look like it did when these people were around that kind of age group. Again, what they found at the end of the experiment was that a lot of these people came back looking a lot younger, not only just looking a lot younger, feeling a lot younger, and when they did blood tests and took all the measurements for various markers of aging and illness, these people were a lot better than they were before they went in. So again, nothing changed other than the way they were told to think. It's very important when you go on a journey like this, that you bear this in mind, because it can make a whole difference. So the first thing that you need to address is your mental health and make sure that your stress levels are under control. I know I sound like a broken record, but this is ever so important. As you get older and your sex hormones drop, it's harder to keep stress under control, because a lot of the stress that we experience, we're not even aware that we are experiencing it. If you have a low-grade bacterial infection, for example, that doesn't necessarily manifest as a cold, but it just maybe you feel a little bit tired, that is stress to the body. And you may not be aware that that's what's happening, but that is what's happening. So we need to start tuning into our bodies a little bit more and make sure that physical stress isn't gonna affect the way we think. As you get older, it's a lot easier to suffer from anxiety, and you find that suddenly things that never used to bother you scare the shit out of you, like going for a walk on your own in the park. If there's nobody else around, it just can be one of the scariest things you do. Keep this in mind, and let's develop strategies that can help us cope. What can we do to manage our stress levels? Well, we need to learn how to read the body's language, because just like you would do with your weight loss, you read the signs that your body gives you in order to tell if your metabolism is in balance. In the case of age reversal, perhaps that's secondary, still super important, but secondary, we want to make sure the stress levels are under control. So can you sleep? Can you sleep well? Unless the answer is a resounding yes, you most likely are experiencing stress of some kind. Are your energy levels constant? If the answer is no, you're probably experiencing some level of stress. One way to make this better is by exercising mindfulness, and that is trying to be present in the moment and paying attention to what you're doing rather than operating in autopilot. This can be easily achieved by simply maybe touching something, and that brings you back in the moment, so you can focus on what's happening right now, because what happened is in the past, and what could happen, you don't know if it's going to happen or not, so there's no point in stressing about it. The best strategy, and I know it's very difficult to implement because I struggle with this as well, is to focus on what's here, what you know right now, and what you can do about it right now. Nothing else. Another strategy that I use a lot with my clients, I teach them how to do brain dumps and then how to do a linguistic analysis of what they come up with so that we can identify patterns of thoughts and we can work with these. Now, the brain dump is very simple. You just need to take a piece of paper and a pen, start writing everything that comes to mind. You can focus your brain dump on a specific issue that you may have, or you can just generally just empty your brain of all these crazy thoughts that keep going round and round and put them all on paper. So now they have a physical form. We can touch them and we can work with them. Or we can simply burn the piece of paper as a cathartic gesture to symbolize the fact that all these problems, all these negative thoughts, we're going to let them go. And just relieving yourself of this burden is going to make you feel a lot better and make room for more positive thoughts. Focus on the power of gratitude. And this is something you hear a lot of people say, and there's a good reason for it. When you start making a list, no matter how short, of all the little things that you can be grateful for, you're gonna start feeling a lot happier, just naturally, because you think, oh yeah, this is going well in my life. That's also going well in my life. Oh yeah, that's a source of happiness. And just doing this exercise is gonna start bringing you from out of the darkness and back into a place where everything is lighter, it's fresher, and it's a little bit more positive. And then you can start looking at possibilities and seeing those possibilities, as opposed to seeing failures and all the reasons why what you're doing is not going to work, hasn't worked, it will never work. Trust me, if you keep at it with the right attitude, it will. The very last thing you need to take into account is the quality of the relationships in your life. Because even when you're super antisocial, you still have to relate to people occasionally or on a regular basis. So it's really being ruthless with who you keep in your life and who you distance yourself from, because the impact of those interactions can be absolutely detrimental to your mental health. And we all have bloodsuckers that literally drain our energy away. They're always negative. They just fill our head with their bullshit. And we just really, when you get past a certain age, you really haven't got time for that anymore. You shouldn't never have time for those people. Certainly, you definitely do not have that time when you get older. It's hard enough having to battle with your own inner critic telling you that you're rubbish and that you're always going to fail. You don't want to hear it from somebody else as well, because that's going to confirm that negative bias. So let's be ruthless. Let's do a drastic cleanup. And trust me, you're much better off with fewer but positive connections than a million people in your orbit. They're all going to shit on your parade. So there you have it. These are the strategies that you may want to take into consideration for overall happiness and longevity as you set off on your journey of age reversal. And they're going to help you stay happy, positive, and no doubt they will help you achieve your goals. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload my next video. Until next time.